Before we get going into the video, my name is Brando. For the new viewers, I'm the founder of Brandlux Media. We are an e-commerce growth agency. We've been able and so fortunate to work with 100 plus partners. And so the reason I started this channel is to document every framework that I know is proven to work and that actually work so that you can get some value from it and, hopefully make your business a success. With no further ado, I hope you enjoy this video. If you have an e-commerce business and you're struggling to increase your conversion rate, and that is one of the primary reasons which is stopping you from scaling your business and your brand, listen closely, watch this entire video because I'm going to bring you through the exact strategies and frameworks that we use to increase that number so that we can actually spend more on the front end and grow our brand. Okay, with no further ado, let's get right into it. We have a lot to cover in this video. Cool. So in this video, I'm going to talk about, as you can see the title, how to increase conversion rate for your e-commerce brand. Now, all the principles that I speak about in this video, of course, also in my other hundreds of videos that I've recorded so far, are just purely based on personal experience. I'm just telling you this if you're a new viewer because, there's a lot of people that talk a lot, but the things that I mentioned in my video are just purely a documentation process where I could just share my experiences, and based on my experience and after working with over 100 brands, this is what I've learned when it comes to increasing conversion rate. So this is just an example of a client that we brought them from 1.2% to like 2.45%, quite fast. And there are many different ways to actually get these results and double your conversion rate, right? Now, but before we do that, we need to understand the principles of conversion rate, what we need to look at before determining whether your conversion rate is low or high, because everybody thinks that just 1% conversion rate is low, 2% is okay. That's what most people say, but it actually doesn't make sense just to look at conversion rate. We need to look at the entire business together and see if the economics make sense, right? And then we can analyze whether the conversion rate is perhaps the thing that we need to worry about. But if you're in this video, that's probably the case. So let me just shut up and move on. Now, let's understand principles of conversion rate first before I dive deeper. As you can see, I have many different principles to cover over here. I'm going to go through one by one. Let's just call them strategies that we use. But understanding the conversion rate proportions. As I say here, even if your conversion rate might seem low, it could perhaps make sense based on your average order value. The conversion rate can be judged if compared to your average order value over a pretty long period of time. I would say at least 30 days. You can't just judge conversion rate based on 1, 2, or 3 days, which surprisingly enough, that's what a lot of people say, like, oh, today the conversion rate was like 1% and yesterday it was 3%. What's wrong with my conversion? Sometimes Shopify businesses, e-commerce businesses, e-commerce brands have some fluctuations. It's how business works, right? So you have to look at least 30, 60, 90 days to really evaluate your conversion rate before doing really anything else. Now, you can do week over week comparisons. That's probably enough. So a 7-day window at least is required to make inferences based on, okay, I think the conversion rate went down. But we also need to understand market principles and conditions, because I'll give you an example. We ran a sale week 1, it's crushing 3% conversion rate. The week after, probably the conversion rate is going to just drop down because people are just not going to buy as much because you just ran a sale. So also understand these principles. Now, we have an ideal proportion that we call it the ideal proportion within our company, is that if we multiply the conversion rate and the average order value by $200, this is when we have kind of like an ideal proportion that allows scale to happen. What do I mean by allow scale to happen? It essentially means that $200, let's just say a 1% conversion rate with a $200 average order value, is strong enough to sustain the expensive advertising costs in today's generation, in today's world. So this is a pretty standard kind of proportion that you can expect, right? Same thing with like $70 average order value, maybe 2.5% conversion. Like, as long as these proportions and the multiplication of the two is equal to around $200, you should be good to go. Now, this example of a client like this one that I mentioned over here, these are the numbers that we're seeing right now. So 2.45% conversion rate with $112.75 AOV. This equals $275. Now, let me just actually show you their account so you can see it with your own eyes and what numbers they're doing with this proportion. As you can see here, yesterday we made $25,000 in sales with a 2.25% conversion rate and 114 dollar average order value. I think the day before it was a bit higher or a bit lower, I forgot. Yeah, 27,000, even higher. Almost $28,000 in sales with a 2.5% conversion rate. So this is where I got the numbers from, just for your own reference, and $112.75 average order value. Now, these numbers are strong enough, right? But we can never judge the 2.5% conversion rate. I want you to understand that if we did not have the average order value, because we also have another client that has a 1% conversion rate, but has like a $400 average order value. So once again, I'm gonna stop talking about this right now because you probably got my point. But understand this before judging and analyzing your conversion rate overall. Okay, now I'm gonna talk about like 3 or 4 principles. The first one, from top to bottom, and the top being the one that makes the most difference, and the bottom, the one that perhaps makes the least amount of difference, okay? Based on my experience. So first of all, we need to understand product market fit, okay? We can do all we want with marketing, and then of course, don't worry, stick until the end because I'm going to give you some nuggets on how to actually, like, assuming you have product market fit, which is typically maybe 50% chance if you're watching this video. Maybe you have like a 1.5% conversion rate, at 2%. It's working well, but you cannot scale. So maybe you have product market fit. You just need to refine your offer. I'm going to talk about all those principles in just a second, but I do want to talk about the fundamentals first. Product market fit, as I say here, you can only go so far with marketing, right? If your product is not wanted in the marketplace, then chances are your conversion rate will be low, and you will struggle to make your product work in this advertising with advertising. So sometimes this is the main reason why brands cannot scale in the first place. I've seen this many times. People try to scale, they maybe get to 30, 40, 50K a month, but they just like reach that wall, and it means that the product market fit is not the best product market fit that they could probably achieve, and so for that reason they're just really struggling no matter what to scale. So this could be a barrier, but once again, this should be how do you know that you have product market fit? You know that if you launch a product, if you launch a decent landing page, a decent creative, decent everything, like super average, and you see pretty high conversion rates, people that spend with you, right, meaning that you're meeting this proportion, then there's a pretty high chance that you have the product market fit that you need to scale, and you are good to go, right? If you are at low scale and you have a decent landing page, amazing offer, whatever, and the numbers are still low, it either means that there's no product market fit, or the conversion mechanism that you're using is maybe not as adequate. So for example, there's some products that are super saturated and require like a VSL, or require like a long form article or listicle, stuff like that. And so maybe just by sending people from one funnel to the product page might not has as strong as a proportion here. So there's always ways to increase this proportion, but I'm just saying generally you should be able to see almost immediately if you have product market fit. Now there's several ways to tackle product market fit, right? As the terminology says, product market fit, it basically means that one product is being wanted, or there's a supply for it and demand for it within one specific marketplace. This could be worldwide, it could be US, it could be Canada, it could be Europe, right? That's basically a market. Each market has different levels of sophistication. So I'll give you an example. We had a client that launched a very like saturated winning product in the US, and it was just didn't work. There was no product market fit. It was just too saturated, and so people were just tired of seeing the same thing. They got that product and launched in Europe, and now they're doing quite well because it wasn't as saturated of a market and people resonated with that product. Now, one last thing before I move on, it's not only based on market saturation, it's also just based on like if people are interested about that product overall. So it's not just based on saturation. I just gave you an example of what product market fit could mean, right? And so there's sometimes, this, we can find the solution here, but sometimes maybe because it's a very competitive product, we need to kind of like understand that product market fit could also be kind of like stimulated or improved by addressing multiple different angles. So I'll give you an example. If this AirPod, and everybody is selling this AirPods with like the advanced technology that it has, and everybody's tired of promoting that, maybe you can promote the same product by saying, no, it doesn't only have the technological advancements, but it also has XYZ, or it's also convenient. So you sell it to, I don't know, people that like to jog and athletes, and say, what is the best way to keep your mood going up while you do your athletic whatever exercise and you start running is this, because it's small and convenient and it has the best tech in the world, right? So you understand how I'm shifting angles. This alone could make and improve your product market fit, your offer, your conversion rate, but it's not always the case. Sometimes you have to go back into the principles and say, okay, does my product actually have leverage over the marketplace? How can I propose and present this product in a more unique way? What advantages does my product have over others? Chances are, if you are able to, with marketing, to portray those differences and those advantages and those benefits over others, your conversion rate will automatically go up because it's a more interesting product. Therefore, there's better product market fit. Hopefully you got my point there. Now let's talk about building a better offer, because assuming you do have some sort of product market fit and it's working, now to increase your conversion rate, you must build just purely a better offer. And there's many ways to do this. And one of my favorite ways to do this is actually just increase the perceived value. If you're able to increase the perceived value so that the price is basically fully justified and it's a no-brainer, and there is product market fit at the same time, then you will crack the code. So I'll give you an example of a client that we were able to work with, where we basically just, this was like a year ago, but it's just a perfect example of how they went from the first offer to the fourth offer iteration, and it really drastically changed their business, and we were able to scale a bit more, right? So first of all, they came to us and where they tested these two offers. And so the first one was just selling the supplement bottle. Horrible results. So 0.8% conversion rate, $25 average order value. Then they also tested by themselves, like adding like free shipping or, like with a money back guarantee and stuff like that. But it didn't really work or change anything at all. And so what we did here is that we started stacking value, and other than selling bundles, we also ended up having like 2 ebooks, a VIP access to a VIP community with group coaching calls with a doctor, because it was like, a scientific product and the doctor was selling the supplement essentially. And then we also offer free sample of another product to complement. Right, so if they bought 3 or 6 bottles, they also received gummies or something like that, right? So we basically worked on this offer. At the same time, we of course optimized the page, making it better, giving more information, optimize the images, and I'm going to show you an example of a super high converting page in just a second, so stick with me. And so these were the results, like over 2% conversion rate with a $70 average order value, because we started like bundling and offering bundles. We also did, actually, to increase the AOV, add like upsells and downsells, like one-click upsells that are like post-purchase, meaning that after somebody buys, they were able to we were able to upsell them. But yeah, in this video, we're specifically talking about conversion rate. And so what ends up happening if we stack value, and these are other examples of like 8-figure companies that are stacking value, as you can see here. This is just a demo that we did, but these are actual offers that are live and running. So for example, this one, what you get, right? You get this, and that, and you get 2 free products. Or this is another one from the same company, we get 20% off plus 2 free mystery, whatever this is, the product, $30 value. Free ice cream scoop, $8 value. Free starter razor, $20 value. So we're stacking the value so that once again, this $129 becomes almost like a no-brainer. This is another example of how they did it over here, where they basically gave out a bunch of free stuff and crossed out the price. And then they also test like whatever subscription. These are all like different types of offers, but this one that we created internally is also a very good understanding of like, okay, giving them maybe 2 options. One, you can just buy the product with basically just free shipping, which is great. Or the second option, you buy the complete solution, right? Also a great way to really increase increase conversion rate by building a better offer is by selling the solution and not just the product, because people at the end of the day are really interested about the solution, not just one product that could be a component of selling that solution. So might as well just maybe I offer 2 options. Number 1, you just buy the main product, or number 2, you offer them a complete bundle with like free gifts, free community, as you see here, free facial headband, facial serum for free, Korean face masks for free, like all these things that actually are really valuable to the end consumer, right? And we can cross the price and give a better deal. What we don't want to do is, if we sell it for $100, just like say 50% off. That's what we don't want to do. That's not increasing value. That's just cutting your price, and you lose margin, and you cannot scale if you lose margin. So we want to stack and increase the value so that we can increase the price increase the conversion rate, and still maintain a very healthy margin. Okay, hopefully this makes some sense. Let me know if you have any questions on this. But ideally, the 8-figure brands, essentially what they do is, sure, they test a bunch of creatives, but they test a bunch of offers at the same time. So this company over here is that, they're doing 8 figures, and I think they're testing around 6 to 8 offers at any given point in time. And you can actually see it. I use Atria, which is a great tool. Try Atria. It's a tool where you can basically follow the competitor, and it will break down all the landing pages that they're sending traffic to. So I went in there and I saw that they were running 8 different pages. For some of our own clients, we do the same thing. We test at least 3 offers, 3 landing pages. We always have A/B tests going on, and we scale with offers, not just with creatives or products. Just like you test different products, just like you test different creatives, we also test different offers, which is really, really important. And so it makes scaling a lot easier, and it increases conversion rate, because you'll always find the winning offer that will have higher AOV, higher conversion rate, and it will allow you to scale more on the front end. Okay, now let's talk about optimizing offers. I'm going to show you this page in just a second, but overall, this is the next thing that matters. It doesn't matter as much as like the main offer, because we've seen like shitty landing pages that have good product market fit and a great offer, and it just works. Nothing complicated about the landing page, but it just worked for them. So the next thing I would say, which is still really, really important and can make a pretty significant impact, not as much as the other things that we spoke about, but pretty significant, is really structuring a good landing page. So these are kind of like some sections that we recommend having, like a top section, optimized top section. I'll show you an example in just a second. Features, benefits, before and afters, us versus them, which is not here, FAQ section, unbiased study. So if you're selling like a scientific product, what you want to do is that maybe have a clinical study that is unbiased from Harvard or from like some sort of third-party source. Social proof, like all these things you need to have on your page to make sure that your conversion rate, right, you're basically handling objections. So let me just open this up, because I do already have it open over here. Over here. This is basically the landing page and the company, Scandinavian Biolabs. And so, whoops, let me just put at 80%. And what they basically have is an amazing page, and this is a pretty competitive product. They're selling like hair loss products, so extremely competitive. What I do love, I'm just going to bring you through the specific things that I love about this landing page and why they are increasing conversion rate, why they're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars every single month to this page. And I know that for a fact, because we funnel hacked them many, many times. So first of all, the one thing that I want to note here is that they offer a 1-month supply, a 3-month supply, and the option to either subscribe or save, or just buy once, right? So they can subscribe and save and choose their option, or subscribe, or just buy 1 bottle at a time. And it's very, very clear, super, super clear. So this is basically their offer. Nothing super special about this offer. I also do know that they're running other offers, but this is like their just main landing page on the website. What I do like about this, of course, reviews, clear section. Instant benefits over here. I like always to see instant benefits within the top of the fold of the landing page. Clear offer. Love that they have a review over here. They're basically giving a quick brief and run through of the entire landing page within the top of the fold. In the first scroll, they're basically giving the entire summary of the landing page, including graphics like this, which are like super important. The video, testimonials, other graphical representations that explain and give you context about what the product is, right? I love that they have a money back guarantee over here. They're promoting that. And so these are all good features. Now let's move on into before and afters, which is what I was talking about before, showcasing that it works for other people. So this is a very good feature. I like this a lot, and there's a scrollable bar. Very, very good. And they also have some, fuller, stronger hair, some kind of direct benefits from each customer, which is very, very good. And the before and afters are really kind of like clear. Yeah, you got the point. Next thing is a clinical study that is unbiased. So clinical studies, they also have a full, I think PDF that was basically goes over the clinical study, so that it's like not BS. It's actually clinically proven to go through these results. And so these are just the summary of the results. And then there's also user trials. So like these things are like, okay, the science proves this. I trust the brand. The brand automatically gets more authority by showing you this. I like the social proof bar for like authority, Vogue, whatever, cosmetics, Yahoo, all the features in the news. And then we have a more scientific approach, not scientific, but like kind of like the ingredients, right? So something that is really important, but is maybe not something worth mentioning immediately, because the first thing people care about is results. Can this product actually solve my problem? If that is not addressed, and you don't show proof and case studies and testimonials, and you don't start gaining authority within the top of the fold, the first couple of scrolls, anything that you showcase doesn't really matter. So these things are really important to showcase, but they should be showcased after, like they're doing over here. And you can also see the full list of ingredients, stuff like that. And then they also, I love how they're showing like graphical representations of what of how the product actually works within their sculpt. This is very good. And then they top it off with this like money back guarantee, and of course a bunch of FAQ sections. This is completely underrated. You should always have 7 to 15, maybe even more depending on what you're selling, FAQ, frequently asked questions, within your landing page, and this will help you get you through a bunch of hurdles with support. You get less tickets, and you actually answer all of the objections that people, or most people, have when they scroll on your landing page. This is a very good guarantee. If you don't see the results in 150 days, we'll refund you. Very, very simple. And then they have a bunch of reviews. Amazing. So this is why this landing page is very clear. It's very simple. They have very good graphics. The perceived value of the page is there. Everything is, I'm able to justify the price based on what I'm getting and what I'm seeing. And I love it. I really like this page. We actually, some of the time, we actually go and study these pages so that we can just not copy and paste them, but copy and paste the framework, and we can implement it for our clients. So these are the reasons and the top things that actually make a difference with conversion rate. Optimizing your page, making sure it looks good, making sure you have the good sections within it. Split testing always your offers. Make sure that you have value stack. Make sure, once again, that you actually promote a product or an offer that solves you promote your offer in a way that solves an entire solution. That typically helps with conversion rate. And also value stack and increasing perceived value, as I said before. And then of course, make sure that you actually have product market fit. And if you're struggling with that, fix that before thinking about all of the rest, because these are like really, really important aspects, but they're only going to work if you have some decent product market fit, or else it's going to kind of be just hard to do anything. And then make sure that you save this proportion. It's really, really important to have this in mind so that you can analyze and see if the conversion rate is actually decent, bad, good, below average, above average. And this is good for scaling. $200 is good for scaling. Okay, let me know if you have any questions. Hope this video was valuable, and see you in the next one. Bye. On a side note, before I end it off here, if you actually own an e-commerce business and you want your business and your brand to be audited, we can just hop on a call, hop on a free strategy session with myself or one of my team members, and we can pretty much have a conversation about your roadmap towards next year and how perhaps you can reach your goals. The conversation is very laid back. It's honestly just to understand if there's an opportunity for us to do even business together one day. Okay? With no further ado, thank you once again. And who knows, maybe see you in the next masterclass.